It's the January transfer window, which means hopefully a few new players coming in as well as a few players going out, because we have a really big squad now and I can't satisfy everybody's playing time. On top of this, we may have found a new goal-scoring hero within our own ranks. And the striker I'm referring to is, of course, our very own Carl Daly, who has come through our youth system. You might remember a couple of years ago, or a couple of seasons ago. He has been coming in firstly as a substitute and now coming in as a starter, and he has started scoring some goals for us. 12 appearances in the league. Yeah, he's got 1 goal, but he's got 4 assists as well. But he has been scoring in the cup games. That includes the FA Cup, the National League Cup, which nobody cares about, but that's why I've been playing him in it. And he's gone and scored against the likes of Arsenal and I think Liverpool or Manchester City, whichever one of those two, under 21s, which was really, really impressive. But he has come in and kind of helped us out during our striker crisis, where we lost Josh Pitts for about 2 months. Armini Richards, the guy who only came in after an injury in September, he went off injured. He's just come back again. But Carl Daly has stepped up and has shown he can perform at this level. He is a National League player, a standard player now. And as it stands, he is apparently, I think you can just about see this behind my head. Yeah, he's the 3rd best striker in the club. Even better than Josh Pitts and George Akinnerane, who has been starting ahead of him for most of the time. So very, very impressive from the young man. He's still only 17 years old, but he has been capped for the Jamaican under-20s. And I believe he scored, actually, in the 2 games that he actually played for them. So well done. Hopefully he'll be the one to really step up and take it to the next level as far as scoring goals for us more regularly, especially considering, as you can just see, the size of my squad now at National League level. We've got 29 players in the first team squad. Originally, I was talking about, what's his name, Mark Goff, the man who, the kid, he's still only 17, who I thought would actually be the one to really step it up into the first team, but he hasn't. He's played a few games, but other than that, he's back to being a National League North-South standard player. And yeah, he's made some appearances, but he's not really taken control in that midfield, although we do have a few good midfielders who are actually a lot better than him, which makes sense. Although saying that, there's still Championship clubs going for him. Swansea want him, has significant potential. This is the thing, he's got potential, but is it really going to help us get promoted at this point? Maybe not. And Bristol City and Blackburn are the exact same as well. He is only under contract until the 20th of June. We have offered him a new one, I believe. Or we should have, yeah. So he'll hopefully sign a new one, even though it's now January. So I imagine teams will come in for him this month, if not the summer. So hopefully he'll sign that and his value will go up. So if that's the case, we'll make a bit of money off of him. And it's all profit. That's the beautiful part. They both came through our youth teams. And speaking of the teams itself, the first team wise, form has been very good since the last time you were with me, which I believe was the York game. We just absolutely been hammering out victories in the league, including scoring a lot more goals as well in the league, smacking the likes of Dorking and who else, South Shields by more than 1 or 2 goals, which was very impressive. Morecambe as well in the last game. Very, very impressive in the National League. We sit top with 70 points after 30 games, 5 ahead of AFC Fylde, who I may actually be showing that game today, even though it's not until February. I'll come to that in just a moment. But that run of form, by the way, also includes a ridiculous 6-2 smacking of Milton Keynes in the FA Cup second round, which has set us up nicely for the third round, but we didn't get a big tie. We're playing against Doncaster, who are sitting in League One, near the bottom of League One. Milton Keynes are in League One themselves. They were 4th at the time. They now slipped to 8th. As their form gotten worse since they lost to us. Oh my God, we started their poor form. Oh, I'm totally not sorry, Milton Keynes. I refuse to call you Dons, and now I'm very, very happy that we've caused you to lose a lot of games. Oh my goodness. Carl Daly scored 2 in that game as well, so he's clearly up to the League One standard as well. But the aim for the rest of the season remains the same, get promoted. And right now, we are on track to do that, which is excellent news. And because there isn't an actual transfer window at this level, not until about March time anyway, we have made a couple of more signings. First up is Jack Shepherd, a 26-year-old English central defender, 4-star accountability, 4.5-star potential, and this guy is League 2 standard. Leading League 2 standard, sorry. How we got him in, I don't know. Probably for the fact that we're paying him £1,700. But he has come in, he's a star player in this defence, and he's been absolutely worth it so far. 7.2 average rating in 5 appearances. He only came in the middle of November, so we've got some very good defenders now in central defence. You've got Shepherd, you've got Doherty, you've got Iweka, who's not happy about Shepherd coming in and potentially replacing him, and of course George Pratt, who I think did get injured. He might be back, but he'll be out of this game, I think, anyway. And Kabongo Shimanga, a 30-year-old English striker, 2.5-star accountability and nothing more in potential. Obviously, he's 30. He came in literally as a backup because we'd lost Pitts and Richards going forward. So we only had literally a Kinnerane, who actually got injured himself for a couple of weeks, Swan, who is in on loan, and of course Carl Daly. So to take the pressure off Daly more than anything, I brought in Shimanga, who's not actually played yet, but he's there if we need him for the rest of the season. He's on a short-term contract only until the summer, and I'm probably not going to be renewing that. He'll be gone come the summer. So if he ends up being a hero for us some point this season, then fair enough. So we are going to get into the first game of the month, which is against Truro, who are... where are they sitting at the moment? They're sitting mid-table, 13th place. And the way that this is going to work this episode, we're going to show the Truro game now. So our first league game, and then we're going to come back at the end of the month or beginning of February. If there's been any transfers in and out, I will show them to you, and then we'll go and face AFC Fylde, who... are they still around? Oh, they're second, right. Okay. We will be facing them. So this is going to be the 11 we're going to be sending out. Wooster is in goal. Back four, Lavinia, Shepherd, Iweka and Sullivan. Because Ling is... oh, he's back from injury. But Sullivan has... I kind of prefer him over Ling at the moment, even though Ling's got 7 assists for the team this season. Williams and Bauman in the midfield, and I've shoved the midfield forward in possession especially. 2 central midfielders. Brown and Richards on the wings. Daly and Swan will be starting up front. So Carl Daly, he's been in form recently. It's only fair I give him more of an opportunity. Kinnerane is on the bench, as is Josh. I'm not sure, is Josh Pitts? No, he's not. Kinnerane's on the bench anyway. I kind of prefer him to Josh Pitts anyway. Pitts has not actually scored in the league. What the heck was that kickoff, by the way? That was terrible. Josh Pitts has not scored in the league since August. He scored 3 goals in the FA Cup, but dude, I brought you in to be a starting striker and scoring a lot of goals. So effectively the Joe Bevan replacement. He's not shown that at all. If anything, I say Carl Daly and Kinnerane are closer to that than he is. Certainly at Kinnerane, he scored 10 goals for us so far this season. And Swan is effectively the Omateo replacement. He scored about 15 goals so far this season from that deep line forward role. As the ball is played out, well, cleared, but only as far as our midfield. Brown slots it through to Swan. If Swan can finish, and there you go. Swan has been so effective in that deep line forward role. His 16th goal this season. Kingsley Town 1, Truro City 0. And he's been doing that a lot for us this season, which has kind of surprised me. I thought at 6 foot, is he 6'4", I think? I thought he'd be scoring more headers, because I've actually told the lads now to play low and high crosses into the box, but he does that more often than not. He's done that more than headers, so whichever one actually gets us the goals, I really don't mind. As we've got about 10 minutes to half time, it'd be great to see Carl Daly if he could bag a goal, or even an assist. You know, any goal contribution from him would be more than welcome. Here is Shepherd on corners. He's been okay from corners so far. Oh, there's Swan. I talk about the Swan not getting on headers, and he just does that right there. He's proven me wrong clearly today. Shepherd plays one in, but he is cleared. Back out to Shepherd on the right-hand side. Lavinia, just play it in, man. There you go. And there is Zach Bauman late into the area. Makes it 2-0, 4 minutes before half-time. He has stepped up into our midfield this season since coming in the summer. If anything, I thought it would be Williams, who has been amazing as well. Amazing. He's been very effective in the midfield himself this season. But him and Baumann, they just work. They just clicked like that. And Baumann took a deflection. Who cares? It went in. It is 2-0. We have really dominated this first half. Not in possession, but I've long since accepted we just don't dominate possession. I suppose it's what we do with the ball more than when we don't have the ball. Well, when we don't have the ball, we're defending, clearly. But so having someone like Jack Shepherd in defence definitely helps. It has meant, actually, Rhys Doherty, over the last few months, has dropped out of the squads a lot more. Especially as him and Iweka are effectively sharing now. George Pratt, well, he could still get a look in, but he's only meant to be a backup or fringe player anyway. Williams with a free kick, and what a peach of a free kick it was. I'm glad I brought in my discussion back in time for that. But that is 3-0 Kings in Town now. And oh, what a beautiful free kick. Oh, the spin on that ball. Oh, mwah, 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 mwah. Fantastic. He has truly stepped up this season. I thought we were going to lose him in the summer. Luckily, we didn't. Hey. Shoving players over now, are we? Why are you shoving my star defender over? How dare you? Punish them. Who's this? Lavinia on the left. Plays it in first time. And the ball has been turned over. It wasn't a bad cross. It was just cleared. Oh, well done. Who was that? Was that Shepherd? I don't think... No, that's Shepherd. I don't know who that was. Was that Baumann? They're moving so fast. Baumann's there with the ball. If that was him getting back into defence and then getting back into the midfield, very good work rate. That's exactly what I demand from my midfielders. There's 66 minutes. Daly's not had a great game. I'll probably take him off and put a Kinerain on. I have to remember that Daly's only 17 years old. I don't want to wear the poor guy out. And keep a Kinerain happy as well. And Baumann, God, on the volley. If that had gone in, that would have been a fantastic goal. But my hopes for January, as I make some substitutions in the process, Daly is going to come off for a Kinerain. My plans for January are going to be, we hopefully will ship a few players out, not necessarily anyone in the starting 11 or on the bench today, but hopefully we just start to ship out a couple of players who are not exactly pulling their weight this season. Middlemas has come on, by the way, for Williams, and Doherty has come on for Iweka. But anyone who's not pulling their weight in this team or not getting much game time, ship them out. A couple of players have already gone on loan. Madu, I think I already said last episode, him and Omateo have gone out on loan. Carbo has now gone out on loan to Radcliffe in the National League North and having a splendid time down there. So if that's his level, fair enough. But it does free up a few spots for other players to get a look in. Nice passing all the way around here. Oh my gosh, Kinerain thundered that ball against the bar after some nice passing moves in the middle there. That was very pleasing to see. Highlight is still continuing though. Brown with the ball into the middle. Richards brings the ball into the middle, and can he... Oh, he tried to play it across. Was denied. Baumann, he is everywhere in that midfield. I love it. Brown still on the left-hand side. We're laying siege to this goal as their keeper just claws it away. And there has been a turnover of the ball now, and Truro are coming forward. We do still have a couple more substitutions. I'll probably play those after this highlight ends, as Lavinia does a very cynical tackle, but he knew exactly what he was doing. Well done. Ling is going to come on, and he's going to go on the right-hand side. Sullivan will slot over to the left. And do you know what? Goff, you can come on and help out Midelmas in the middle. We haven't seen Goff very, very much, if at all, this season. We're going to lower the tempo, waste some time, and just lower the distribution. We don't need to go very fast. There we go. As we've only got a minute left or so of injury time, and that is a beautiful victory. 3-0. That will keep us top of the league. A very healthy league there. And in fact, the live league table showing we are 7 points clear. That is excellent. Right, let me go and do the transfers. I'm not going to show the FA Cup match against Doncaster. If we do get through to the fourth round, then I will show that in the next episode. But for now, let me go and do some transfers, and I'll see you for AFC Fylde. Before I disappear though, just to confirm, I have got myself a course to study for the National B licence. Finally, the coaching courses are starting to come through. I am still only... Where is it? Hang on. I've gone into the wrong screen. There I am. Still only a National C licensed after 2.5 years, but now we are finally rising. I want to get this reputation up. If we are going to go up to the Football League, I want that reputation higher, or if not, I want clubs to be coming after me. Selfish, yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to become a legend here. I need to be thinking about my future. Well, January ended up turning into a very difficult month in the end. After the Truro match, of course, where we left off, we beat Doncaster in the FA Cup third round. Absolutely fine. That's another League One scalp to our name. Although in the fourth round, we got another League One team in Wimbledon. Still not the big match, but that's not the main news here, ironically enough. We started struggling in the league, only picking up, 6 points out of 4 games, which is not the worst in the world. But when you're pushing for promotion, that's a little bit of a worry. 1 win in 4 league games throughout the rest of January. And that does mean in the league, we are still top, but, well, we're top by 7 points. And today's opponents, Fylde, have 2 games in hand. We have to avoid defeat at the very minimum, basically, against Fylde. So we're obviously going out to win, but we've got to play them at their place. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, I beg your pardon. No, we're playing them at home. That changes things a little bit. We need to go on the attack, I think, while we're playing at home. But also, that form is also down to a bunch of injuries that we've had throughout January as well. So if you go to current injuries, Rhys Doherty is out for another 11 days with sprained knee ligaments. He's been out for 2 weeks. Josh Pitts has been out for the entirety of January after the Truro game. He's not due back for 3 to 5 weeks. And then there's our number 1 goalkeeper. Tom Wooster has been injured with, moderate knee ligament sprain. Since the 5th of January, he's out he should be back by the end of February. But that does mean I've had to go into the transfer market for another goalkeeper, albeit just on loan. And that's exactly what we did. We got ourselves another goalkeeper, Tyrese Warmington, on loan from Birmingham City. 21-year-old English goalkeeper, 2.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. Comes in on loan from Birmingham for the rest of the season, and then he'll disappear back to Birmingham. Especially, bear in mind, he's played 4 games. He's kept 1 clean sheet. And he hasn't done the worst in the world. He's not been the worst goalkeeper I've ever had. But I've only just noticed something before I clicked record. I don't know how I didn't check this, but 5'4". I've got myself a 5'4" goalkeeper. How on earth did I not look at that beforehand? I'm surprised he's been able to catch anything. To be fair, his jumping reach isn't that bad. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with the fact he's 5'4". I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that now. I'm gonna be very aware of that. And if he starts missing stupid balls over the top of his head, then Liam Coyne is gonna have to come in. Maybe Liam Coyne should have come in the first place, because the indifferent form has started since Warmington came in. But I thought that was just purely because of his match fitness, but maybe not. We also got in another loanee as well. This time from Middlesbrough, Daniel James, 21-year-old English midfielder. 3.5 star current ability, 5 star potential. As mentioned, in from Middlesbrough in the Championship. Not played a single game of senior football, so if he does come on for us at any point, good National League player at least. Potential to be League One. But if he does come on, then he'll be not only making his debut, but filling in a spot because Middlemas, he got himself injured. He's just come back from injury. But it just gives us another body in the midfield. So those are the only 2 signings we've actually made in January. Daniel James is right at the end. And really, we just sent players on loan. Ben Truman has gone on loan to Airdrieonians in Scotland, where he's playing about as well as he did for us, to be honest. He's going to be out of contract. Oh, no, he's not. He's here for another year. So we'll see him back here in the summer, I guess. Other than that, it's as you were at the beginning of January. It's just a bunch of injuries. So, going into today's all-important match against AFC Fylde, it's going to be Warmington in goal. Really keeping an eye on him. Lavigne, Shepherd, Iweka and Ling in the defence. Williams and Bowman in midfield. In fact, swap them over. They were normally this way around. Don't know what happened there. Brown on the left wing, Richards on the right wing. Akinirain and Swan are the 2 men up front. Carl Daly, still on the bench. He did score against Doncaster, by the way, in the FA Cup, but I'm just giving Akinwumi that match time, especially as he's the more senior player. I think that needs to be respected, and I don't really want to have to rely on a 17-year-old for the rest of the season. Goodness me, as much as I've said that he has been a player who is improving and is in form, at the end of the day, he's 17 years old. He's not going to be that consistent, which is what we need at this stage of the season as we look to get over the line and seal promotion. I think, how many games we've got left? 15, if not less than that? Well, we've got 11 games. Fylde have 13. There's 7 points in it. Effectively, if we win today, that puts us one step closer to promotion. I know that sounds obvious, but it means that Fylde have a 10-point gap to make up. Yes, they have 2 games in hand, but it's the fact that they have to win those 2 games in hand. That's the big difference, as Fylde are actually on the attack here to start. Boys, would you like to win the ball? Now that I think of it, when we're out of possession, we're just very wide. Too wide in my eyes. Good save by Warmington there, by the way. You can see how tiny. Oh my god, look how tiny he is. That's all 5'4" of him. Everyone else is a monster compared to him. Oh my god. Why have I not noticed that before? That's probably... yeah, that's not ideal. Maybe if he was another 5 inches taller, he would have saved that. It is offside, luckily, but that's a warning shot. We're going to need to keep him away. So we're going to need to keep the ball away from him as much as humanly possible. Akinwumi trying to chase that down, but bless him, he's not that fast. That's not his strong point. It's not Swan's either, but then I'm not expecting Swan to run after the ball. As Fylde are just all over us here. This is a bit concerning. I know they're near the top of the league. Well, they're literally right behind us, but they're just completely outgunning us at the moment. I need to make a couple of changes here. So we are sitting lower at the moment. Step up more, that's fine. Mid-block, do you know what? I think we need to go standard because we're leaving far too many gaps in between our midfield and defence. Get stuck in, that's fine. Pressing trap, trap outside. I think we need to do that because they're getting inside far, far too quickly. Okay, I was going to say that's a chance for us, but we have got ourselves the ball back. Oh my god, it's been turned over again. Really? I need to actually check. Do my players actually have dread big match situations? If so, that probably explains a lot of things because they're just carving us over here. Oh my god, Warmington's made another massive save. I'll tell you what, he's very good with his feet, isn't he? It's just anything in the air, that's a bit of a worry that we're going to have with him. As Fylde come again here. Come on, boys. Sort yourselves out. Oh my god, it's just off the bar now. We are living very, very dangerously. We need to go attacking. What are we doing? Akinwumi, pass it off. Thank you, we've won the ball back. But the highlight just ends anyway. Well, we've finally got a shot on goal. We've finally got some XG. God knows we need it, but Fylde, they're just coming again here and it's just completely rampant. There's so many highlights because they're just clearly playing right through us. But then what do I do exactly? My god, what a tackle. Richards, gonna need some magic from you, sir. You've been very quiet recently. That's a beautiful ball, and that is a great finish by Akinwumi. I'm just criticising Richards for being very quiet recently, and he has been in recent games. But he's shown there exactly what he's capable of. Akinwumi, oh, you just timed that to perfection, son. Really timed that to perfection. On the last defender, quite literally, and we've stolen the lead there. There's nothing else for it. We've stolen the lead, and I'm very, very happy. It has pushed us ahead on the XG just a little. No, not even ahead. It's pushed us back into the XG story, which is exactly what we needed. But Fylde, they're just going to keep coming. That's the problem. And they've got the goal that they deserve. That is 1-1. Nothing to do with the keeper there. He's actually kept us in the game, realistically. He's had a good game so far. But this was just... yeah. Who was that who missed the ball? Was that Shepherd? How did you miss that ball? Come on, man. Right. It's not really here we need to be at the moment. It's more the instructions. Bypass, no. More disciplines, yep, that's fine. The tempo, lower it a little bit. I think we just need to play a little bit more narrow then, surely. Because we're getting carved open far too easily. Look, they're just cutting inside. Well done, Bauman. Exactly what I wanted. Finally, get your foot on that ball. Lavigne. Into Brown, Bauman. What is with the bad passing? I tell these lads, get the ball. No, I'm sorry. This game has decided that my players don't know how to play all of a sudden. You saw us in the last match. We were very good going forward, but now all of a sudden against a good team, these players are not big game players. And that is a problem. Got to demand more from these boys now. They can't get a hold of the ball. I'm going to be screaming at them at half time. Really show them a piece of my mind. Give them a piece of my mind even. Because this has been unacceptable. Williams going the wrong way. Awful. Swan into Richards. Plays it over to Brown. And that is 2-2. How we're still level in this game, God only knows. But we are level after 39 minutes. This is much better from us. This is exactly what we are capable of. Richards bursting into the area. Ooh, Brown was again just onside. I tell you what, we're timing the runs today, which is excellent. It's just as well. But my goodness, 2-2 as we head for half time. 4 minutes of injury time. What are we doing here, ref? Why 4 minutes? Doesn't matter, we're going in anyway. The irony is, because of that equaliser, I couldn't give them both barrels. It didn't give me the option to say, I don't like what I saw from this team. Show me something different. Because even at 2-2, if I did do that option, it's just going to completely demotivate these players. Which is not what we want going into the second half. Oh my gosh, actually, the XG a lot closer now. Fylde's still ahead, obviously, but we're starting to show a little something, which is exactly what we need. Right, 62 minutes. I was about to make a change there, actually, but it is a highlight. Brown's come very far inside, by the way. He's our left winger, just to remind you. Williams. Ling, who's... Oh my God, Ling! I've been talking about replacing him the whole of January. Oh my God, but it's off the post. I didn't know, actually. I don't know if that was a save or off the post. I'll put it down to a Warmington save just to make myself feel better about him. Akinirain. Bauman. It's over. Highlights over there. Fylde are just all over us. Everywhere. Brown is tired, so on comes Lambert, who hasn't really played much recently. I've kind of forgotten about him a little bit. Sullivan is going to be on for Ling, who's having a poor game. Lavigne is not playing much better, but I can only take one off. Is this a game for Carl Daly? I can't see if he has that hates big match stuff on him. I mean, Swan's not having a good game, so I'll tell you what, Daly, you're going to come on. Akinirain, go to deep line forward, and Carl Daly will be the channel forwards. And I might as well just keep calling it advanced forward, because it's practically the same thing. It's the old favoured role that we had for many, many FMs, and it's certainly one that I loved using. Deep line forwards is definitely one that I like using. Surprised I didn't use it straight from the off because it has been so effective. Right, Akwe is going to come on for Richards, who's shattered, and Williams is going off for the debuting. Excuse me. He's supposed to be 3-star. Right, it's because of this. Right, it's because of that. Okay, that's fine. He'll just go as a central midfielder anyway. That's exactly where he's going to play anyway. That's the reason we brought him in, because he can fill in that same role. And that's a throw-in. I don't know who to. We're going to drop back to positive. Akinirain. Sullivan. Or Akinirain. Makes it through. Plays it in. And there is Jack Lambert. He hasn't played for so long. It does not matter. He doesn't care. He'll get into the box and he'll score anyway. And God knows, again, God knows how. My goodness, I'm saying that a lot in this part of the episode. It is Kings Lynn Town 3, Fylde 2 with 7 minutes to go. This is a battle for whoever wants to go up to the Football League. This is an absolute war. Right, we're going to have to lower the tempo even more. Waste of time. Slow the pace down. We're doing all the normal stuff. We're not replacing that. It makes zero difference. It just offers them far too much space. Come on, boys, hold on. This is priceless. if we can win. If you just looked at that entire first half by itself, we shouldn't have won that game, but we did. That's the main thing. We've got the 3 points. We got exactly what we needed out of it. And that's all that matters. 10 points ahead. They've got 2 games in hand, but that's still a lot for them to make up. Right. Next episode is going to be around the end of the season, surely. We've got York right near the end. I'm thinking it will be somewhere in April that we will return. Whether it's the last 2 games or just before, depends if we're still top of the league. Hopefully we are, and hopefully we can seal the title next episode. So if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the end to this gripping season. We could be going up to the Football League. Here's hoping. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support on the videos so far, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.